Hey hey Fuzzers, Mr. Fuzz here. I hope you had a good 420 last week. Yes, because it was indeed the International Stoner Day, as you may know, but Fridays are also the International Release Day for albums. And so that was the perfect timing to have both the 420 and a Friday happen at the same time. Of course, a lot of albums were released that day, and I decided it would be cool to do a top 10 of my favorite fuzzy releases that came out during the 420. So let's light up a big joint and let's fuzz! Let's start with no other than the Melvins themselves, who decided to drop their new album on the 420, Pincus Abortion Technician. I must admit, I never took the time to really dig into the discography of this iconic band, but I had the chance to see them several times, and each gig was an enjoyable and unexpected experience. I think it's hard to grasp the Melvins, because each of their songs has that weird touch, and each time that touch is weird in a different way. See what I mean? So yeah, I think that's what makes the Melvins so unique, but at the same time so difficult to get into, at least for me. Of course, Pincus Abortion Technician is another one of these interesting Melvins albums. It features 5 original songs and 3 covers, the first song being a medley of the James Gang's Stop and the Butthole Surfers Moving to Florida.
Stop! I don't know the words, I think they're wrong. Stop! It don't matter.
There ain't nobody safe. There ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. Check this right here!
You will also find a heavier version of the Beatles' I Want to Hold Your Hand. And the last one being another Butthole Surfers song called Graveyard, which closes the album. So yeah, I let you check it out on their Bandcamp. This is the third album by this Australian band, and of course, with such a band name, a 420 release was mandatory. And with more than 70 minutes of slow pocket-dermic doom, yep, 4 songs above the 12 minutes mark, I warmly recommend you to roll a fatty of Indica, of course. So let's get dirtier with these Italian guys who recently signed with another Italian label called Heavy Psych Sound. Of course, both the cover and the title of this album, Filthy Flowers of Doom, are totally into the 420 theme. And even the songs' names are suggestive. Just see by yourself. filthy is exactly the kind of sound you will be able to hear with tongues. So yeah, it is really sludge as fuck! Actually, quite in the same vein as another weed-worshipping band you may know called Bongzilla. Riding Easy Records is back with the 6th strip of its Brown Acid series, where they bring back to light underground bands from the 70s. And man, I'm such a sucker for these underrated bands. Yeah, I remember when I was in college, I was spending hours and hours on YouTube discovering these kind of bands we can find on this compilation. Though with my work with Morphers, I kinda stopped digging for these pioneers of the heavy rock scene. I'm just more focused on recent releases. I know, it's a shame, but that's why I'm so happy Riding Easy is doing all the hard work to find those gems. Alright, let's put on my hippie glasses and have a listen to those forgotten groovy tunes.
I need a good woman to wash my clothes and keep me warm at night. I need a loving, I need a hugging, I need more. Yeah, I need loving, I need hugging, and I
Let's stay in the heavy blues territory, but this time with a modern band coming again from Australia, Cosmos. So you will be treated with 7 blues-infused tracks, a nice psychedelic touch that fits perfectly for the 420, awesome guitar solos, and finally such a fine songwriting that Coming Home is flowing so easily into your ears from the start to the end of the album. With such good music, Cosmos is showing us, like their counterpart, Child or Filthy Look, that Australia is more and more becoming the land of heavy blues.
from their side.
And we are back with another gem from the 70s. This time it's Ripple Music, who is compiling a best-of from one of the most famous proto-metal band, Bang! I don't have much to say about the badassness of this album. I mean, all these 18 songs will certainly make you headbang a lot. So if you still don't know Bang, jump on it, Fuzzers! Oh, and in fact, I can add a little something. Tony Reed, the man behind Most Generator, remastered all the tracks, and it sounds huge! Congrats, Tony, as always. Here is one album I already talked about very recently on the blog, and so to quote myself, yep, I'm a genius. I can quote myself.
Wow, dude, you're such a dick!
Oh, come on, man, I was kidding. I just wanted to edit this video as fast as I can, that's all.
Yeah, but you're even more a dick, because you just spent more time editing this little video trick we are currently seeing and coming up with something new to say.
Alright, fuck this guy. Let's see what I said on the review from the blog. Here is a new band on the now unstoppable record label, Cursed Tongue Records. Coming from Vancouver, Asteroid will be your new fix of fuzz for the 420 coming this Friday. Of course, with such a band name, you couldn't choose a better date to release your album. Though choose carefully the strain of weed when listening to this one. I would go for 100% Sativa, as we'll see these guys are blasting punkish fuzzy riffs faster than a bong hit from Matt Pike himself. So yeah, Asteroid is becoming my new favorite band in the style of The Shrine. The Motorhead fans will also appreciate the energy of these young gentlemen. And to quote myself once again, free mode on! Unless you are living under a cave, this was probably the release we heard the most about during the 420. Yes, the mighty Sleep are back after almost 20 years without a new album. The Sciences was released by Jack White's label Third Man Records. I still don't understand why with him. I mean, maybe Jack is a secret worshipper of the most iconic stoner doom band in the world. Anyway, we knew a new Sleep album was in the works, but the whole community was clearly not expecting it to drop for the 420. So, is it worth the wait? Well, I will let you judge by yourself. Tell me in the comments what you think about it. Personally, I'm just happy to headbang on some new heavy as fuck tunes from the masters themselves. Al Cisneros is still bewitching us with his crazy bass lines. Jason Roeder, who is Neurosis' drummer, smashes his drum hard and precisely, and of course, Matt Pike's monstrous riffing is still here. Special mention for the last track of the album, The Botanist. In my opinion, it is the one that is different from the rest. It is the only one without vocals, if we don't count the first intro track. It has a psychedelic, melancholic atmosphere, thanks to this clean guitar and this epic guitar solo. So yeah, I'm glad Sleep is back. Let's follow the smoke toward the riff-filled land, as they say.
Water of light, anoints the mark to Messiah.
This album is actually the last one I discovered in this list. Yep, thanks to Dan alias Mr. Cromlech, who is in the Morphos team and who sent it to me like yesterday. Yeah, thank you dude. So yeah, Haggard Cart is another one of those uber fuzzy guitar drums duo I can get enough of it. Dude, these guys, like Telekinetic Yeti, which I placed at the top of my favorite releases from 2017, just have that sick fuzz tone I really love. It is so heavy while at the same time very metallic. The whole album is filled with those massive riffs and a very noticeable musicianship between the two members of the band. So yeah, it rocks! Favorite 420 release goes to another band we already talked about on the blog, especially Mr. Gagarin, who already reviewed several of their releases, the South African Rough Magic. So if you didn't follow these guys closely, Seasons is in fact a compilation of 4 EPs they already released during 2017-2018. Each one was written during one of the 4 seasons of the year, as you guessed it, each time experimenting with different recording approaches, each time going beyond their own sound, garage, stoner, psychedelic, doom, sludge. There is something for every fuzzer in this album. And so this creates a very diverse and unique release. What a cool concept! I warmly recommend you to listen to the whole thing. Rough Magic came up with a tremendous piece of music that will certainly end up in my top albums of 2018. Oh, and the guys are coming to Europe this May. I can't wait to see and meet them at Freak Valley Festival. They are still searching for dates for the summer, so if you can help, don't hesitate to reach them. Alright Fuzzers, all the links to listen and support the bands are in the description just below. I hope you enjoyed this new video format. It's all new to me, but I had fun doing it and would love to do more if that's something you are interested in. Please leave a comment and give your feedback or ideas for the next episodes. And if you're still not subscribed to the channel, you know what to do. That's all for me Fuzzers. Keep on fuzzing.